All right, let's just jump right in. For the longest time, the best marketers were the ones with that killer instinct, the ones who could just feel what was going to work. But now we are absolutely swimming in data. So, what happens when a seasoned pro's gut feeling goes head to head with a spreadsheet full of numbers? That's the big question we're tackling here. And it's a pretty provocative question, isn't it? In this age of data, could all that hard-won experience actually hold you back? It's a real conflict that a lot of seasoned professionals are grappling with. And honestly, it gets to the very heart of a massive shift happening across the entire marketing industry. But hang on, before we dive deep into the data, let's get one thing straight. This is not about trashing experience. Not at all. For decades, it was the only game in town. So let's start by giving that marketer's instinct the credit it absolutely deserves. I mean, this is the whole story, right? It was that almost sixth sense for spotting a trend nobody else saw, or feeling a tiny shift in the market, or just knowing the perfect phrase that would connect with people. That wasn't magic. That was a skill, a powerful one that built some of the most iconic brands we know. Yeah, and this slide is a great little trip down memory lane. This was the marketer's toolkit not that long ago. It was all about what we now call activity metrics. Just think about it. Were people opening our emails? How many clicks did our ads get? How many new followers did we snag this week? This was the language we used to define success. And then everything changed. The analytics era showed up, and it wasn't just a minor update. No, this was a fundamental rewrite of the rules of the game. This quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. It's not that those old skills are suddenly useless. It's that the standard for a good decision, the very yardstick we use to measure success, has been completely reinvented. And look at this. It lays out the difference so clearly. We went from this intuition-led world where the focus was all on platform activity, clicks, reach, opens, and the goal was basically just to prove you were busy. But now, we live in an evidence-based framework. The focus is on actual business outcomes. We're talking revenue, customer retention, lifetime value, and the goal is to prove you had a causal impact. You didn't just do something, you made something specific happen. So this creates what our source calls a structural gap. You can think of it as this chasm between the habits and frameworks we all learned back in the day and the really tough analytical demands of right now. It's a gap a lot of experienced pros are trying to figure out how to cross. Okay, so if that's the gap, what's causing it? Well, this is where we dig into the real problem, when those familiar, old-school metrics actually start to lead us astray. Let's uncover the flaw in that old code. And here it is. This is the core issue. Activity metrics are fantastic at showing you were visible. You got 1 million impressions, 1,000 retweets. Awesome. But they tell you zero about causality. Did all that noise actually cause anyone to pull out their wallet and buy something? That's the million-dollar question they just can't answer. Our source material actually breaks this down into 3 big traps. First up, correlation without causation. You know the classic example. Ice cream sales and sunglasses sales both go up in the summer, but one doesn't cause the other. The same thing can happen with your campaigns. Then there's attribution ambiguity. If a customer sees a tweet, then reads a blog, then clicks an ad, who gets the credit? The old models just kind of shrug. And finally, there's metric substitution. This is a sneaky one. We report on likes because it's easy to measure, when what we really care about is customer lifetime value, which is way harder. We end up substituting an easy number for a meaningful one. And the solution, the thing that fills that gap, is this powerful idea, causal attribution. This isn't just about tracking what happened. It's a whole rigorous framework for proving the link between what you did as a marketer and the business result you wanted to create. It's the huge difference between saying, we got a lot of clicks, and saying, this campaign generated $100,000 in new revenue. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, but how do we actually fix it? The good news is, there's a playbook. There is a clear framework for closing that gap and taking your skills to the next level. And here it is, a 5-step playbook. Number 1, anchor everything to business outcomes first. Don't start by asking, what should we post? Start by asking, what business result do we need to drive? 2, design your attribution logic before you launch. Decide exactly how you're going to measure success before you spend a single dime. 3, make it a habit to constantly ask why. Is this just a coincidence, or did our actions truly cause this result? 4, look forward, not just back. Don't just report on what happened last quarter. Use your data to build models that predict what's going to happen next. And 5, and this one is so important, preserve the human element. Data is just numbers on a screen until an experienced human being turns it into actual insight. Because that really brings us to the final and most crucial takeaway from all of this. This isn't about experience or evidence. It's not about throwing away years of hard-won wisdom. It's about creating a powerful new synthesis of both. I absolutely love this point. Think about it. A data system is amazing at spotting a pattern, but it has no idea about context. It doesn't understand your company's culture or the mood of your customers, or that your biggest competitor is about to launch a new product. That's where human judgment, sharpened by years of experience, becomes more critical than ever. We need it to tell us what the evidence really means. So if you only remember one thing from our time together, let it be this. This, right here, is the new formula for winning. It is not instinct versus evidence, it is instinct refined by evidence. That potent combination is what creates a real, lasting advantage in today's world. And so, to wrap things up, I'll leave you with a question to chew on. In your own work, for the very next big decision you have to make, what unseen piece of evidence might be out there just waiting for you to find it? And how could uncovering it change everything? By the way, this whole explainer was based on a fantastic article called From Instinct to Evidence by Natalia Glashak, which was published in the Universal Library of Business and Economics. If this stuff fascinates you as much as it does me, I highly, highly recommend you check it out. Thanks so much for watching.